What's up, everybody? This is Everyman with Everyman 40K channel. So we're going to start with the second video in the series of the Chaos Knight display board. As you guys can tell from the last video to this video, if you just got done watching that one, we went ahead and we did a little bit of reconfiguring. This is sort of the final composition. We may add a tree in a couple spots, but as for right now, this is it. Now, let me discuss composition a little bit. So as you can tell, I moved the two big knights. I swapped position. I've chosen specific locations for the 7 smaller knights for the war dogs, and I've done this for a few reasons. The first being, on the bases, you can tell that I've used 2 different types of material or 2 different types of terrain surfaces. Well, that decision was made prior to me deciding that I was going to make a display board. So now that we're going to get into a board, instead of rebasing every single model, every single miniature, I had to place each miniature in such a way that I can connect the green kind of grass to the green grass, flowing from miniature to miniature. This layout, I took everything into consideration, and one of the considerations is the bases. So again, for those of you trying to do this or just starting out, you have to consider that. In addition to that, I want a 1/2 inch all the way around to have nothing with inside that 1/2 inch. So again, for example, from here to here, right, if you can see the ruler, that's a 1/2 inch to the end of that ruler from the edge. Now, again, there's reasons why I don't want anything within a 1/2 inch. First, it's the storm drain. Since we're using water and we're using a water pump and we're going to have actual flowing, liquid or water coming down that storm drain, the water has to have an ability to return back to the tank. So we're going to create a facade or an edge so that the water, as it runs from one end of the storm drain down through the terrain feature, through the base, that on the return line, the return is hidden. So when the judges are sitting here watching everything and they're checking out, and the water starts flowing, as it reaches to the end of the display board, it disappears, or it goes under that 1/2 inch edge lip. Secondly, another reason is it's going to finish off the edge. So when I put a 1/2 inch wood cap, and when we get to that stage, I'll show you, it's going to just add that small extra little touch of being finished. I went ahead, come over here, and you can tell, and I went ahead and I numbered them. So now each war dog has a number from 1 over on the far right all the way to number 7, which I believe this guy is number 7. Correct. So obviously the 2 big guys, I know where they're going. I got to take this board and I got to break it all down. And the reason I got to break it all down is because we're going to cut all the way through the foam to make the storm drain. But I want to be able to keep the foam together. So what I got to do is I got to take a piece of 1/8 inch MDF, and we're going to cut an MDF underlayment, right? So we're going to take a 1/8 of an inch MDF board, and we're going to glue the foam down onto that board. The next stage is we're going to take a pencil and we're going to outline every single war dog and the 2 big knights and essentially lock in where they're going to go. Then I'm going to take a ruler and some tape measures, and I'm going to scribe into the foam the road and the aqueduct or the storm drain. I already know the two positions of the two smaller speakers. One speaker is going to go right back here, roughly, and about the same distance, 6 inches from this edge. Another speaker is going to go over there, 6 inches from that edge, and about roughly the same spot. So basically stereo, and they're going to be positioned equally within the display. So that's where we're at. That's what we're going to do for this video. We're not going to do a lot, not going to do a ton. We're going to go ahead, we're going to bond the MDF to the bottom, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut that storm drain area out and prepare to get this done, because once we start doing this, there's no turning back. Once we lock everything in and once we start cutting, we're done. Okay, so you can see that we have it laid out. So I've got all the war dogs and the big knights all marked out. I've got the road marked out. As you can see here, I got one line, and then here's the other line here. This is a 4-inch road, so I measured it across. It's going to be a 4-inch road. So I got out a T-square, or just a regular square. So that way we're going to square the road up. So get yourself out a square. I use this as just a guide. The storm drain is going to be 3.5 with a small 1/4 inch, like a concrete barrier with maybe some chain link fence type stuff there. I don't know yet. So we're going to remove this, and we're going to drop this down. Anything that's straight, so again, I'm going to close this one out, or not close it out, but I'm just going to shut this little part off. I'm going to go in the garage, and the next thing is to lay the MDF underneath and glue this down. Then we'll bring it back and we'll split the 2.5. So yeah, let me go get this glued down, and then after it's glued down, I'll come back. I'll show you what we did, how it's glued down, and then we'll split it. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. So we got this all glued up. Let me show you the bottom. This is what I'm talking about, a piece of MDF fiber board. So again, just glued it down. Here in about a minute, I'm going to show you, we're going to cut the center section out. And then over here, as you noticed, you can see one of the war dog locations has been kind of tested, how I'm going to recess them, because I do want them to sit down into the terrain. I don't want them sitting on top of the terrain. So I'll go ahead and show you how I did that in the next video. Okay, here we go. Point of no return. So this is what we're going to use, right? So we can get down 1.5 inches through that foam. So we got 2 or 3 inches there, and we're just going to slice, keep this perpendicular. And that's it. All right, there we go. Perfect. Now you see how here this is smooth. So this is what we wanted. We wanted glue here. We wanted glue over here, but I left this section here with no glue. So we want this to be smooth. So it's like poured concrete, like an actual storm drain would be. We're going to go ahead. We're going to do some kind of little techniques in here to make it look like it's concrete. But again, that'll be later. So for right now, this is it. So we're going to close this one out. I've hit the 10-minute mark, probably over 10 minutes. I want to keep these short so that you guys can just whip through them as we progress, and you can determine yourself what you want to see, what you don't want to see. So stay tuned. We're going to keep working on this. Like I said, we got the electronics and everything coming. That's going to be a whole nother video, a whole nother program, and how we get the speakers and the speaker boxes working. So if you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, hit that like button, and stay tuned for part 3, when we're going to start cutting the holes and cutting the recesses for the nights, and we're going to start maybe working on the road and doing some terrain. All right, everybody. May all your dice rolls come up 6s unless you're looking for a 1. Peace out.